This video is not about this TikTok influencer specifically, but more about the mentality she's persuading women to have. The mentality to have a man pay her bills and in return do nothing for him. Her mentality claimed to not be a sex worker, but she definitely looking for resources for, at the least on her part, sex. It's the idea of manipulating men and misleading men for monetary gain. So many women on TikTok is picking up on this sprinkle BS and running with it. Here's a few just to prove it.
So I just saw a viral interview of Gabrielle Union, and she's talking about how, she doesn't sleep in because she's like, if I sleep in, then somebody may not eat. I have to get up. I gotta work. In this household, we split everything 50-50. And a lot of people are taken aback by that, myself included, because if I'm not mistaken, Dwayne Wade may be worth, $250 million. There isn't anything that Gabrielle Union should want or need that her husband shouldn't be able to provide for her.
You see, it's not about this egalitarian thing these women keep bringing up. It's not about, everything being equal and we want equality and all of this and that. It's about them having the upper hand. This man makes millions of dollars and she's looking at it as a come up.
For her to feel stressed that she better land that movie role and that movie better not get canceled because she needs the money, married to a millionaire, is insane to me. But it's all about a man wanting to go 50-50 isn't always about the money. Sometimes it's about the mentality. Some men are like, I don't care how much I make and how much you make. We're splitting these bills. I'm never going to give all that to you.
And of course, instead of looking at it objectively, she does what most women do. They nag and complain and look for a reason to blame men for everything. It's his fault that it's a 50-50 relationship, when if you look at it objectively, what if that's what she wanted? What if she wanted to offer that part of the relationship of being the other 50%? And then you have a problem with it because it doesn't fit into your ideology. The nonsense.
This woman was with this man after having all of these unfortunate miscarriages. Like, she talked about it and all the things that she's done, all the stuff that she's went through trying to have this man's baby. He has a break baby on this woman. She is the mother of his child. After all that she went through to finally have a child with Dwayne Wade, she finally was able to have one. And after being married to this man and with him for years without a ring, after all of that, he still doesn't seem to think that she's worth providing for.
She's having an imaginary conversation with Gabrielle Union in her mind. This is what she would say if Gabrielle Union was her friend and she told her that she was going 50-50 with Dwayne Wade. And she would tell Gabrielle Union what she's saying right now. This is the kind of conversation she's having, the imagination she's having in her mind about the conversation she's had.
It's not that he can't. It's that he won't. Because it's not always about the money, it's about the mentality of a man. Because some men somewhere might be working at Popeyes or as a FedEx delivery driver or as an Amazon delivery driver, and he's still providing for his family, even if he doesn't have very much to provide with.
I'm sorry, working at those type of places, you're not providing for a family on that income alone. There's gonna have to be some compromise or some collaboration with the woman, or you're gonna have to get another job in order to provide for a family. But working there alone, come on, who is she talking to? Who are you trying to fool with this nonsense?
But you got a millionaire, got a woman as loyal as you can see. I mean, after all he's put her through, she's still not worth it. Some men don't want to provide. They don't think you're worth it, no matter what you do.
Two things that she said that's ridiculous. One, a guy working at Popeyes is providing for his family. But it's women out here disrespecting bus drivers and saying that they're not adequate enough to be in a relationship with. And then 50-50 is not providing. You're not providing something when you're going 50-50. It's not like you're not providing anything. You're providing 50% of the relationship, towards the relationship. So what is she talking about?
Before I saw this video with Gabrielle Union, I saw this video of a young woman who was living with her boyfriend, and the boyfriend actually has an apartment that his father gave to him. So the boyfriend doesn't even pay any rent, but yet he charges her 50% rent. So he's charging her. They go 50-50 on everything, including the rent.
I'm sorry, but that's not 50-50. That's him not paying anything or her paying half of what he's not even paying because his father gave him an apartment. That's not 50-50. So you're wrong about that.
And she recently got a big job and a promotion and everything. And he's like, well, now that you have this big job and this pay raise, you actually can afford to pay more. A man in your pockets should be a huge red flag. Is he with you because he genuinely loves you and cares about you? Or is he with you because being with you gives him a discount?
See, it's always a double standard, because if you offer to take them on a coffee date so you can get to know them as a person and not spend a lot of money because you don't know this stranger, then they have a problem with that. But she could sit up here and say what she said and it's okay. That's the double standard.
He can afford a more luxury lifestyle if he has your income included. Some men will be with you because it helps them look good. He can't afford the high rise by himself. He can't afford to look like a baller on Instagram and TikTok by himself. He needs your money to do that. Don't think that a man truly cares about you and he's not willing to show you that he loves you with everything, including his money.
The bottom line is, if you have any financial struggles, they don't want nothing to do with you. They could say that it's about all those other qualities, but soon as you don't have an income stream, bro, it's over. And that's the main purpose of them existing. It's to siphon the resources off of you, to have the upper hand, to take advantage of you. It's not about equality, it's about them coming up. See it for what it is.
I saw that video of that lady complain about her husband not really doing anything for Mother's Day. Not to put my parents' business out there, but growing up, I never really saw my dad do anything romantic for my mom. I actually never even saw them kiss. All I saw was my mom getting up at like 5 a.m. and going to work and coming home and going to sleep. It was kind of like the breadwinner of the family, and she just lived to like make our family work.
Nowadays, you starting to see women throw their fathers and their grandfathers under the bus, making it seem like they weren't the breadwinners and their mothers and grandmothers were the breadwinners, and they're painting this narrative to make people believe that their fathers weren't good enough and their grandfathers weren't good enough, and that their mothers and grandmothers just did everything and the man just did just a little. And it's sad for them to stoop that low, that they would sit up here on TikTok and make videos really disrespecting their fathers and their grandfathers, but they out here doing that.
Of course, obviously, flash forwarding into my adult life and dating life, I grew up with this idea that men are just incapable of romance. That women kind of have to be the head of the household to just make everything work. Flash forward, I have this boyfriend, probably still to this day one of the sweetest guys I've ever dated. Of course, like my childhood, he was not someone that did a lot of romantic gestures or grand gestures, and I was kind of like the one that wore the pants. I just figured shit out.
Here's another one. Like, it's not about equality, it's about dominance. Right now, they're so far gone from wanting equality. They want dominance. They want it to be switched around where they're the ones who's the leaders and they want you to be the followers. That's the society that we're living in. They'll hide behind the equality thing, but really it's them wanting the roles to switch, and they want to be the leaders and they want you to follow behind them. That's the world that we living in. I mean, this is not the only girl that's saying stuff like this. Of course, we know they're not the true leaders because they're not building the roads, the railroads. They're not building the buildings and the bridges and all of these things that keep society up and running. And if it was warfare, then they wouldn't want to be the leaders. They will fall back and want us to be the men that we were born to be. Then that's when all the masculine energy shit will be thrown out the window, because you won't want to be the leader then. You won't exert your masculine energy then. You will want us to be the men we were born to be. We were born to be those type of leaders to handle warfare. You weren't.
Today we're just sitting and talking, and he's telling me about his ex-girlfriend. And he's telling me about how she was just so materialistic and she required so much. So much so that he literally went to get a second job in order to buy this girl stuff that she wanted. It's funny because I knew this girl from my hometown. And my friends and I would literally laugh at how much this girl was capable of making men turn out for her. I'm talking about buying her dogs, taking her on trips, like doing the most for this girl. And it was without fail every single boyfriend she dated. I was the boyfriend that was incapable of showing me romance and love, able to do that for her. But it's not that he was incapable. Men are actually very fucking capable. And they know what we want without us having to ask for it. The thing is that I had laid the groundwork with our relationship as the easy girl that didn't require much. I was willing to wear the pants, guide the relationship, figure shit out for him, as opposed to that girl from my hometown that probably had told him, like, I'm not doing shit and you better figure it the fuck out. She had made it very clear that she was a high maintenance woman that required a lot of things. And to this day, I have continued to see this girl date men that show up for her, give her what the fuck she wants, and she lives a blissful life, from what I can tell. She looks like she doesn't worry about a damn fucking thing. So many women have this idea that men are incapable of providing romance, that they have to lead, that they can't figure things out emotionally because men are just incapable of emotions. And that's not at all the case. We just settle and unfortunately continue to uplift this narrative that men are incapable, which is just weaponized incompetence.
And this is the reason that I fell back, because I'm not letting them be blood-sucking leeches off of me. You're not gonna leech off of me for money, and then you're claiming that you're independent and you're strong and I can do all of this by myself and I could pay my own bills and I can buy my own car and I could buy my own house and I really don't need you, but we're gonna spend your money and I'm gonna keep my money and do what I want with it. We not doing that. Then I'll be by myself alone without no woman, because I'm not gonna let you play me or play with me like that.
What? You think the women that are getting treated well by men, you think those men are special? No. It does not take a genius to know what romance is. It doesn't take a genius to know what loyalty is or to help somebody out. Men will fucking serve their friends. You think they're not gonna serve you and you throwing out coochie? If you allow them, you lay the groundwork that you can just come on in and just chill at home and I'll figure it out for you. Hear from me? I did that with every single one of my relationships and I ended up with a bunch of fucking dusties. Men will do what you allow. They love the path to least resistance. They respect women so much more that expect more of them. They are not incapable. They just don't want to fucking do it. They'd love for you to do it for them. Haven't y'all realized that the best you will ever see a man act is when he's trying to get you at the beginning of the relationship, and then at the end of the relationship when you've ended it with him and he's trying to get your ass back? They're fucking capable of it.
I'll say this, men will do romantic gestures. They would like to do them genuinely, but it's a lot of women out here that sprinkle and want to manipulate men and use them for their resources and take advantage of them. So when we realize that's what you're doing, why would we continue to allow you to do these things? And then when we don't do those things, then we get women like this who are semi upset because men are not doing it continuously. Like, no, that's why we keep saying, what do you bring to the table? Because once we understand that and we understand your role, then we can see how to assess you and see how much we're willing to invest into the relationship in your part, into your favor. But if we don't understand that, then why should we offer anything? But women don't understand that. They think we supposed to do that off the rip and keep doing it and just keep spoiling them and putting them on a pedestal and not thinking twice about it. But we're starting to wake up. We're not letting you take advantage of us and do that sprinkle shit. Fuck that sprinkle shit.